Good morning. I apologize if I'm jumping in at the wrong time, but I can't see the live stream, so I can't see what's happening. So I'm running blind here. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Fredericksburg. My name is Judy Laganga, and I am pleased to welcome all of you to the Unity of Fredericksburg weekly online gathering. At Unity of Fredericksburg, we are advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. We thank those of you watching on YouTube live or later and invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are able to attend live, we encourage you to join us in the Zoom community room for the full Sunday morning experience, including music, prayer, and connection. Our weekly newsletter includes the Sunday service link, and you can subscribe to receive that on our website at uofva.org. That's uofva.org. For everyone local to Central Virginia, Unity of Fredericksburg offers a variety of fun and enriching in-person gatherings every month. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at uofva.org for all the details. Our message today comes from Dr. Yemaja Jubilee. Dr. Jubilee is a soulful poet, life coach, author, creative consultant, and songwriter. As an inspirational speaker, workshop facilitator, Dr. Jubilee spreads her message of love and inclusivity. And now, here's Dr. Yemaja Jubilee.
All right. All right. We're right here in this day, and the day is Father's Day. And I want you all to just take a breath and breathe and allow it to be. Breath is life, and life is meant to be lived in full expression. No time for sitting around, just bringing who you are as you are, your truth, your voice to wherever you are. We say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I must tell you all, my father transitioned on May the 2nd. So he would have been 98 years old on May. He would have been 99 years old on May the 14th. So I have been going through some grieving and at the same time working on some other projects. So bear with me and have patience today because I go in and out of spurts of feeling on the inside of the loss and the grief. Now breathe, be, and allow it to be. I'm so grateful that y'all invited me back again to speak. I'm so grateful for Reverend Cheryl Fair and your community. I love Unity of Fredericksburg. Now I want y'all to listen for 1 minute. You're going to say, hey, hey, we're coming to you today. Ashe, ashe, because Juneteenth is here. Juneteenth is here. It's on its way. Let us all come together, young and old, because we're going to celebrate. We're going to shine our light bright and bold. We're not going to be, we don't have to be like Harriet Tubman, who had to walk through the night to get their freedom. We are right here because we can own our freedom, because freedom resides in our soul, and soul stands for spiritual living. Use spiritual living. It stands for spiritual living. You have a soul, spiritual oneness, used for living. Spiritual oneness, used for living. And as we move forward, our lives will unfold. They will unfold, and you will walk and be and bring who you are. And then you will hear from deep inside of you. You will let freedom ring. Let freedom ring from shore to shore. But most of all, it will ring from you. It will ring in your heart. It will resound in your spirit and in your soul. Now breathe, be, and allow it to be. When you hear the word freedom, what comes to your mind? Do you think about it being a beacon of hope someplace about things to come? But freedom demands that we stand up. Freedom demands that we stand up for anything that's not good for us, against oppressions, and to fight for our rights. and the fight for people that have been marginalized and the people that don't have voices. Those were my ancestors. They were marginalized, they were dehumanized because they were in the bonds of enslavement. Enslavement. But we have to remember that we have to keep moving forward to a new level of consciousness while celebrating Juneteenth, Freedom Day. And it took a long time for this to happen. In 1619, our ancestors, my ancestors, were enslaved and they came into Fort Monroe, Virginia, not Jamestown, Fort Monroe. And it took 244 years for President Abraham Lincoln to do the Emancipation Proclamation in September 1883. And as enslaved people, my ancestors, women, men, and children, they were considered property, just like a pig, a cat, cattle, all of that stuff. They were considered just like property, not human beings. They were dehumanized and they faced many struggles. And you know what? The slave masters, the owners, wanted to crush their spirit, but they didn't. They wanted to crush their spirit. And they were enslaved under all kinds of circumstances, working from sun up to sundown in the cotton fields, some of them in the house, cleaning and cooking and taking care of the master's children. They were enslaved. They were in bondage. And you know what? After the Emancipation Proclamation passed, a lot of them didn't even know in Texas that they were free. It took 2.5 years, y'all, for them to find out that they were free. Because some of the plantation owners, what most of them, as I recall, and as my research, they were into making money, greed, their status as a plantation owner. They didn't tell them that they were free. So for economic reasons, and because of their mindset at that time, they kept them enslaved. But they failed to tell them the truth. Truth. I got truth resonating. I got truth resonating, y'all. I got truth resonating in my heart, happily and harmoniously. But what happened was this, and we'll get to that truth right now. In City Point, Virginia, you all know it today as Hopewell, Virginia, there were 6,000 colored troops, quote unquote, that boarded ships, 8 ships, and started to sail. Now they were headed for the Mexican border, and they were going down to defeat and against Maximilian down there. That's what they were going to do. The soldiers were from Illinois, Pennsylvania, New York, Indiana. So they got on these ships, but they had to stop in Galveston because they had to get supplies. So when they got there, they got off the boat, okay? And General Amory, Major Amory, ordered General Granger to write General Order Number 3. General Granger did not read read that. He did not read it. He did not stand on some balcony and read it. He didn't. He was ordered by Major Emery to write it and post it. Those soldiers that got off the ships, colored, quote unquote, soldiers, got off and marched down through the streets. And they told everybody that they were free. And this was on June 19th, 1865. My ancestors had spent 2.5 years before they knew this, but the colored troops were the one that brought them the news, all right? Just want to clarify that so that everybody knows what's happened with that, because I'm learning the truth as we speak on a lot of different things that have been told to us that were not true. And one of the things that happened is Juneteenth became a national holiday, as you all know, on June 19th, 2021. But it was because of the work of a whole lot of people. The National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, which was led by Dr. Ronald Myers, had already worked and got Juneteenth as a state holiday in 42 states before Juneteenth became a national holiday, before Juneteenth was nationally recognized. Meanwhile, this is where Dr. Oprah Lee come in. Y'all hear what I say now? Dr. Oprah Lee is called the grandmother of Juneteenth. but she took action to allow others to come in along with her to help get Juneteenth recognized as a national holiday. In 1939, Dr. Oprah Lee's house was where they lived in Fort Worth, where they were. It was raided by white rioters because they had moved into a white neighborhood. They came in and took their things out and they burned a lot of their possessions. And they ran her whole family out, ran them out of the neighborhood. And they were just saddened by that. And she was traumatized as a child with that. In the meantime, after all of that happened, Dr. Oprah became an educator. She became an elder community activist. And she was given the idea, I call them divine downloads, y'all, that she should walk 2.5 miles to commemorate the 2.5 years that our people were not free, they didn't get the message. She wanted to get the word out so that everybody would know that Juneteenth needed to be a national holiday. And so what she did, she started walking 2.5 miles. And this was in 2016. She was 89 years old when she did it. Y'all believe that? She was 89 years old. So it tells you you're never too old to become an activist for freedom and what's right and what needs to go on with people. In the meantime, Dr. Oprah obtained 1.5 billion signatures all through her walks. State by state, she did 2.5 miles. Then she joined forces with Dr. Ronald Myers, which we just talked about, together. And after the George Floyd incident, it got stronger. They worked together. Dr. Oprah Lee, the National Juneteenth Observers Foundation, so that we could have Juneteenth a national holiday. And Dr. Oprah got the first pen from President Biden. She was there, that when Juneteenth was signed into a national holiday. This holiday, Juneteenth, June 19th, honors the sacrifices that my ancestors made. Because my ancestors built most of the buildings in Washington, D.C., the Capitol, and a lot of other things there. They were enslaved and they didn't have any other choice but to do it. But now we're coming together and celebrating all the sacrifices that they made. They did not have freedom. Can you imagine not being able to talk and go where you wanted to go? Can you imagine not even be able to walk on any place you wanted to walk on? Can you imagine that your time was dictated to you as to what time you get up? Can you imagine that you were given the scraps from the table to eat? That's how we ended up with soul food, y'all, because we turned it all into delicacies. I want you to imagine, as you listen to me, wherever you are, if you had no freedoms. Breathe, be, and allow it to be. In today's world, we must remember that freedom is very important. And it's the foundations for all the goodness in humanity. The ability to speak, the ability to think, and the ability to act without oppression, worrying about somebody gonna get you, and any restriction to live your life with purpose and meaning. That's what freedom is. Freedom is not the absence of change, but the presence of opportunity. Opportunities for me, opportunities for you, no matter what the color of your skin is, no matter if you're young or old. That's what freedom is. It is the power to choose your own path. My ancestors didn't have that. But you today, you have the opportunity to set yourself free from inside, to express your thoughts, to have your own path without persecution. But one thing that we have to be mindful is social media, all right? Political views and the wars that are going on, and our family traditions, and who we hang around with, what we read, where we go, where's our focus. These things, you can imprison yourself inside yourself by thinking about what people think of you, by thinking of what they're going to say. Oh, child, she thinks she this and she thinks she that. Or, look at her as she go over and do that. And people, if you allow them, will put you in quote unquote a box. I don't believe in boxes. There are no boxes. Boxes is something that is made up in your mind that you will contain your own self in, and people have their own beliefs. Some of them close in on you, and they will put you in their perceptions. They will tell you how they feel about you And it's their perception. When somebody tells you how they feel about you, take a breath and breathe and be. It's about them and not about you. It's about them and not about you. We have the choice not to allow personal points of view, opinions. We can liberate ourselves. In what areas of your life do you need liberation? In what areas of your life do you need freedom and liberation together? Are you emotionally free? Do you allow yourself to feel your feelings? Girl, I allow myself to feel my feelings. Okay. One time I didn't, even with all the grief that I'm now going through. And sometimes there's a struggle, but I feel them. I feel them. And do you express your thoughts? Do you own your voice? Do you tell your truth? That's freedom. If you don't, you have imprisoned yourself inside of yourself. Do you go around people and go along with the okie doke, even though you don't agree inside? Is that you? Do you go somewhere and you become just over in a corner and don't communicate and be with other people socially? Or do you choose not to go out at all? Do you know what your own truth is? Do you know what you now stand for? Do you know what your purpose is? What are the beliefs that you have? And what are those beliefs that hold you in bondage? What past traumas hold you in bondage? And I want to tell you a story of something that held me in bondage. In 1964, I was denied entrance to Longwood College there in Farmville, Virginia. I had applied because the superintendent, I went to school under Jim Crow in segregation. But the superintendent of the schools there, Miss Irma Blackwell, said that she wanted me to apply to Longwood because I had the grades and I was a good student. So I applied. Miss Ella Jeffers of Charlotte Courthouse, who was the secretary at Central High School Museum in Charlotte Courthouse, helped me got all of my paperwork together. My mama knew about it and my daddy knew about it. And I was encouraged to apply to that all-white college. Well, you know what the next part of this is going to be? I got denied entrance. I got denied. Miss Irma Blackwell put me in her car and took me over to Longwood College. And I sat out in the halls, you know, the part that out there where we go into the registrar's office. I sat out there on those wooden benches. And she went in and she asked, well, why didn't she get accepted? And she came back out and told me, you did not get accepted because you were colored. I kept that with me for a long, long time. I kept it inside. I was disappointed because it made me feel worthless. What's wrong with me? You know, is something not good about how I am? I kept that, but it was because I was colored, because I was Negro, because I was Black, because I was African American. I got denied entrance. So I kept that for over 50 years. And then Reverend Bill and Cheryl Holton had a spiritual retreat a few years back. And so we had a discussion about things that had traumatized us. We were at a table discussion, and I told them that story that I just told you. And I made a commitment to them that I would do something about it. I was going to unlock the key to my own inner freedom, y'all. And that's what I did. I wrote a letter to the president of Longwood University now. And I wrote a letter saying what had happened. And I wanted something done. So what they did was they invited me to speak in February of 2023 for Black History Month to their student body. Okay, they did that, but that wasn't enough. Okay. I then asked them for an honorary doctorate. All right. And they told me, well, we can't give you an honorary doctorate because you have to be the speaker for the graduates in order to receive it. That's the only way we do it. And you know what I told them? I don't have no problem speaking. Just let me know when you're ready. I'm ready to speak to your graduating kid. Just tell me when. Needless to say, they never contacted me to do that. But then, because of my persistence and going back and forth about what's happening, they assigned me a person to work to just hear my story and work with me. And so then I did it for a while. This is over a period of time. And then I got a special call from Longwood University, the person that was working with me, saying, on May the 19th, 2024, we are going to award you a JD from Longwood University. And guess what? It happens. And you know what? On that Sunday when I went to get my JD, I got it. I got it. And I did my mama's holy shout all the way across there. As much as I could, I went, ooh, ooh. I had gotten that which I desired, which I deserved. They gave it to me. It was a dance of joy. But most of all, y'all, it was a dance of freedom. It was liberated me. I felt so good. I felt so good. And I felt so good that I had gotten the guidance from my higher power as to do that. And I got the strength and perseverance and courage to do that. Now breathe, be, and allow it to be. The fifth principle of unity tells us through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth that we know. Truth is the cornerstone of freedom. That's what it says. You can make informed decisions. It enables you to just think critically and clearly. And most of all, when you know, it allows you to be authentic and genuine. The recognition of truth in all circumstances. And sometimes what I have to do, what I do is I ask the divine for answers. And what I'll do is I'll go to sleep. And just before I go to sleep, I'll ask the question, because in that stage of where you are before you go to a deep sleep, you get answers. I get answers. It works. It is a practice with me. So what I do is I ask the answer to questions that I need to have the answers to. And what I do when I get the answers, I get up the next day. Sometimes I wake up early in the morning, and I have been known to call people, because if I don't do it, then I lose it. It don't come to me but one time what it is that I need to do. But what I'm saying to you is know your truth, be your truth, bring your truth, and live every day. Every individual on this planet deserves to be true. You can use your power of imagination, one of our 12 powers, and imagine how it would feel. See yourself in the feeling of being free. Now, you might have to set a boundary with someone, as I have done. Own your voice with someone. You might have to change the way that you perceive yourself. Your self-love, self-care, self-awareness. And most of all, knowing your value and your worth is part of you having freedom. You have to practice forgiveness for yourself. You got to forgive yourself, honey. And if you do something that offends someone, don't go to them and say, I'm sorry. I don't like the word sorry. Say, I apologize for anything that I might have done that was not good. So one of the things that I also want you to remember is this. With freedom, you have fun and you're joyful and you go and you bring it. You practice. You don't preach. You teach by the example of who you are. Your authenticity, your integrity. You embrace yourself every day. You say, girl, set your intention every day. I set my intention every day. And a lot of times what I have to do, and I know maybe y'all haven't had this, the negative self-talk I write through my poetry is a spiritual practice. I call them divine downloads, okay? And it frees me. You let go of those limiting beliefs. You write out what your beliefs are and look at them, see which one you want to keep, and you will get the clarity. Express your passion and your purpose and go through life with zest and zeal and bring who you are. You bring who you are because now you have set yourself free and you know who you are. I got truth resonating. I got truth resonating. Yeah, I got truth resonating in my heart, happily and harmoniously. And I own my own voice. I own my own voice. Yeah, I got own my own voice. Happily and harmoniously, I got truth resonating. Truth resonating, yeah, I got truth resonating in my heart, happily and harmoniously. When you have truth, you know your truth, and your truth will set you free. Now breathe, be, and allow it to be. On July 5th, 6th, and 7th, at Twin Lakes State Park, at 788 Twin Lakes Road, Green Bay, Virginia. I talked about Dr. Oprah Lee. Well, she's going to be there. Girl, we're going to have it going on. And I want to thank Unity of Fredericksburg for making a donation. And I have to tell you, Reverend Cheryl Fair has been fantastic. She is on the vision team that held the vision for this activity. Ever since I started this and told her what was going, her and Reverend Georgia Johnson have held the vision. And so Dr. Oprah Lee will be there. She will share, she's an elder activist who will tell her story. You can come and hear her in person. Friday night, she will arrive in Richmond at the airport at 2:30 on July the 5th, okay? And there will be TV there and some other people there to welcome her. But then Brian Reed Funeral Home in Farmville, Virginia, will provide limousine service. And guess what? They're going to bring her right on down to Twin Lakes, which is about an hour away on 360 West. When she arrives, girl, we're going to have it going on. We're going to have a meet and greet party with music and entertainment. We'll introduce her. That's Friday, all right? And then on Saturday, she will be the main speaker. We'll have drumming, gospel music. There'll be vendors and food and lots of happy things going on. And we're going to listen to her. And she's going to have a tent that she's going to set up where people can come in. Her granddaughter, Dion, told me she don't like to be kept from people. So you can go in and take a picture with her, all right, and sell her books. She'll have a space to do that. But she's going to be there that day. And then she will be presented with an award. I am executive producer of this program. The reason why I'm there, it was because my dad, who I told you at the beginning of this, he built Twin Lakes State Park. It used to be Goodman Lake and Prince Edward Lake. When he was like 16, 17 years old in the 1390 Black Battalion. And he couldn't even go to it. They couldn't even go over there and swim in the water when they had built it. So I said all that to tell you so you can know my tie and why I'm doing this. Last year, I did the first Juneteenth. Roy was in it, had music and everything on the black side of the lake and introduced Juneteenth. And I honored my dad at the first Juneteenth that we did on that side of the lake. So while I was there, I had a dream. I had a dream that Dr. Oprah Lee was standing on the grounds. This was June 2023, and it never left me. I started working on it in June 2023, and I have pulled together the CCC team, connect, communicate, and collaborate. That's how this has came to be. That's why Reverend Cheryl found him and holding the vision for it, plus a lot of other people that have worked with me on this. It's been a lot of people, Twin Lakes State Park and Friends of Twin Lakes as well. So it's all coming together July 5th, 6th, and 7th. Now, on the 7th, we're going to go to the Jericho Baptist Church in Farmville. And then after we come out, we're going to go to lunch at the Fish and Pig in Farmville. Matt Hurley has worked with me, and he's going to be making sure that we all get taken care of at a minimum space there and a maximum space there with the meal. And the food is good at Fish and Pig. So I would love for you all to come and participate in this historical moment. That's the first time someone of her caliber has been here in Virginia. So come, bring your family and your friends, and if you need more information, you can contact me, and Reverend Cheryl has all the information. Now breathe, be, and allow it to be. Breathe, be, and let it be. Breathe, be, and let it be. Breathe, be, and let it be. We breathe the breath of God. Love above and love below. Love above and love below. Love above and love below. We breathe the breath of God. I would invite you now to center on your breath, your inhale and your exhale. Remembering that breath is life. And you're not taking a breath, you're given a breath. Remember that. Close your eyes and put your hands on your heart and breathe. And be present in your body. Wherever you may be sitting, allow your feet to be on the floor. Wiggle your toes. Move your feet and breathe. Now hug yourself. And as you sit there, I want you to imagine that you're going to take a little walk. Before you visualize in your mind a forest, and there's a path, and you hear the trees calling your name. Come and be in the greenery with me. Come and be under my shade. Come and feel my energy while I surround you with peace and serenity. And you get up and you walk in your mind, take a walk. And you're walking barefooted. Barefooted. You do not feel the pressure. You feel the energy of the nature rising through your feet, through your legs, your knees, your thighs, the center of your body, through your chest, and all through to your top of your head. You feel God's energy. You feel the divine spirit of the trees. Trees have this root connection to each other in the forest where they talk to each other. And they're sending you these positive vibrations. They're also sending, as you move down the path, to the other trees to tell them that here comes this wonderful individual. Send them love. And you walk and you feel the love of the trees. And as you look in the distance, you see this rock. There's a rock, a big, big rock. And the rock is shaped like a heart. A heart. And there's a stream that runs by. You hear the water flowing in your mind, flowing softly. And the rock says, honey child, come sit on me. Sit your butt down on me, SYBD. And you sit on that rock. And as you look out, you see other beings coming. And they come and they walk into you already, all creatures coming together. You sit on that rock, together on that rock, and your warm breath, your hands on your heart. Reach out and get someone's hand as you all sit on this large heart-shaped rock. And for a moment, just sit in the silence. Feel the sweetness of life as it flows through you. Feel the serenity as it pours. Feel the peace and love that is radiating from your heart. Feel the gladness and the gratitude, knowing that you and the Creator are not apart. Listen, hear the birds playing a symphony. Whenever you're near, I hear a symphony of the birds singing in the trees and bringing harmony to my soul. I know God's here because I hear a symphony of the birds singing in the trees and bringing harmony to my soul. sitting in the silence, accepting yourself as you are and those around you. And you stand and you thank the rock for allowing you to be there on it. And you say wave bye to all the people as they go out on their paths. And you tell them, I have a message for you. As you go, remember to bring who you are, own your voice, and set yourself free. And you wave and you bid them adieu. And you walk on out back down the path, barefooted. You walk over and you hug a tree, and the tree gives you its energy. You feel the dynamic flow in your heart as you hug it. You smell its fragrance, and you thank the tree, and you continue on out of your journey. And as you walk out, you look over to your right. There's some tall sunflowers. Oh, you hadn't noticed them when you walked in. They are facing the sun, and with their bright yellow blossoms and greenery, you walk through them and you thank them too. And as you walk on back out, you come on back into now, in the place in which you're sitting. You bow your head to your heart and you give thanks with a glad heart of gratitude that you are so happy and grateful to be alive. You're happy and grateful to be alive. You hug yourself again, embrace yourself, enfold yourself, and you have the peace and the serenity of the divine. Open your eyes and welcome back. And so it is, and so it shall be. Ashe, ashe.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thanks for watching the weekly broadcast from Unity of Fredericksburg. Visit our website, uofva.org. That's uofva.org to learn more about our mission of spiritual awakening and transformation and support our ministry with your financial donation. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.